Americans, you were right. This heat is no joke.
It's so hot you could fry an egg on road.
7 fucking degrees. Look at me, mate. I'm fucking sweating. Absolutely fucking sweating.
I'm in America for the World Cup, and this heat is absolutely mental, mate. I feel like someone opened a portal to hell and just tossed me in it.
Different heat, whatever. No, the heat here is different. The air is thick like soup.
America, this is no joke. It's 7:30 in the evening, and I've never felt heat like it.
Air here is thick. It's heavy. It's hot. It's sticky.
Things I've learned in Alabama. 1, it's hot in the summer. 2, it's humid. And 3, you never get used to it.
What the hell is that? It's literally melting off.
The heat, we don't bother about the heat. We love it, we're embracing it. It rains in England every day. How can you not love the heat?
When record-breaking heat waves hit Europe, tourists and locals face a massive culture shock. They quickly realize America's obsession with central air conditioning isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Subscribe for more crazy culture clash stories. From window units to central vents, international visitors are stunned by how seamlessly American homes keep cool during extreme heat. Many Europeans point out that concrete construction, high energy costs, and historic architecture make retrofitting AC difficult back home. However, as summer temperatures surge, travelers who once mocked freezing indoor spaces are now eagerly hunting for portable cooling units. For more context on how tourists react when discovering America's blasting indoor climate, check out this video. Europeans are shocked by America's air conditioning obsession. This clip directly illustrates international reactions to US cooling culture during extreme summer heat waves.
Okay, so I've stayed now officially in my first home, proper home in America. And there's one thing that's kind of really, there's actually 2 things that have blown my mind. But this one is where there's like air vents in the house. Let me show you. Right, so see that up there? I'm going to say that's the AC. The amount of times that you guys would say to me, how on earth do you get cool in your house? And I was like, I just open a window. You know, that's my aircon. But I've got to tell you, it's genius. And I think it is brilliant. And I don't know why we don't have it in the UK.
Hello, Europe. I'm a poor white trash American. Check this shit out. 60 degree. Ooh, big flex. That shit costed 120 bucks. Whoa. Check this shit out. 50-cent ice tray. I know y'all don't use ice in your water. Drink ice water. We're drinking ice water. Y'all, it is 82 degrees Fahrenheit in the UK and they're dying. In France, they're dying. They would rather die. Ice cube. Ooh.
I honestly don't think that most Europeans actually know what AC is, air conditioning. Now, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying that you've been lied to by generations before you and by your government for a very long time. So let's break it down. First off, there's a bunch of different types of AC units. There's ones that go on the ground outside. There's ones that go on the wall outside. There's ones that sit in the windowsill. There's ones that sit on the floor inside and like connect to outside spaces. Everybody says, oh, well, we can't do it because our buildings are brick. Okay, we have brick buildings in the US and they still have AC. All you need is a masonry saw and some tubing. They say, well, our infrastructure just won't handle the water and electricity usage. First off, most AC units don't have water usage, okay? They deal with a refrigerant, just like a refrigerator. And for electricity, like I said in a previous video, AC was invented in 1902. That means your government has had almost 125 years to start building up infrastructure in order to get the amount of power needed for stuff like AC. And obviously, you know, 100 years ago, they might not have needed it, but you can't tell me in the last 25 years that they couldn't have been making advancements towards it. They just haven't. For the portable ones, everybody's like, oh, well, we can't have window ones because our windows are slanted, either out or sideways. They make adjustment kits like this, where you just put it in that slanted spot and connect it to a floor unit, and you can still get AC. So no, I'm not blaming the normal everyday people over in Europe. I'm blaming the people before you and the people above you that are telling you that it's not an option, because it very much is.
How come you guys do not have air conditioning everywhere?
Because we can just open the windows. And also comfort is over-comforted. America is obsessed with comfort. Everything has to be comfortable. Yes. No, life is hard and sometimes you need to suffer. We just open our windows. It's called Stoßlüften, where you open all windows at the same time, even when it's cold, when it's like negative 15 degrees, and you still open the windows and then the cold air can just come in and penetrate the room, and then it eradicates all the stale air. It leaves nothing but pure! Yeah, Americans are bad at handling comfort.
That's why we have so many pillows. In Germany,
pills.
Pills and pillows.
Pills. Oh, I have a little oopsie whoopsie, I have a ouchie fouchie. Take Tylenol, take this. In Germany, we take a walk. We just march it off.
Americans, I'm not being silly, yeah? But just take a look at me right now. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm sat in my kitchen trying to cook dinner. No, I haven't been for a run. No, I haven't been lifting weights. I've just been sitting here and stirring the pot every now and again. This is what happens when the UK has a heat wave. You are just in a puddle all day long. And you know why that is? It's because we don't have any air conditioning. No houses have aircon. In America, okay, it might be hot, humid in the day, but at least in the evening, when you go back to your home, you can click that button, put the AC on, and be nice and chilled. Get some goose pimples because you're a little bit cold. In the UK, when we have hot weather, it is barbaric. There is no way to get away from the heat. Ain't nobody got a swimming pool, maybe a paddling pool, but nothing like that. Nothing like they have in the US, man. No ice dispensaries, no aircon. This is gonna be me all night now. Like, how am I gonna go to bed? I'm gonna go to bed in a puddle of my own sweat. Take me back to America.
British people during the heat wave is something to be studied, because tell me why. I tell my British boyfriend that I am of heat. I'm about to get a freaking heat stroke. I am parked outside of my house with my 2 dogs because I cannot take the heat in the house. Also, I decided that today was going to be the day that I was going to go for a walk, clean the house. Like, I am going through it. And tell me why I tell this guy that I'm going to go get an air conditioning for the house. And he's like, toughen it up. Toughen it up.
You guys, I'm this close to booking a hotel for the next 2-3 days because there's no way I'm staying in this flipping house when it's 38, 39 degrees and it's burning me and my body's combusting and I don't have AC. I can't stay here. Why am I getting told it's a yellow warning, it's an orange warning, it's a red warning? My brother, this is hell. This is a warning from hell. What do you mean Tuesday 36, Wednesday's 40? Oh my life, I want to fly to Iceland. All I do is come on this internet and complain about the weather, but this global warming here, I can't have it. I can't have it. I've tried all the hacks, I promise you. I've tried tin foil on the window. I've tried closing the windows. I've tried closing my curtains. I've tried leaving the window open slightly. I've had enough. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a fan of winter. And yes, I complain in the summer, but please, use your brain cells here. Bring me blue skies and sun and warmth where I could tan a little bit, but I'm not sweating just sitting in my house. Why am I sleeping naked and I want to rip my skin apart? Why am I already sleeping naked? The fan is on me and I want to take my skin off.
How's everyone handling the heat wave? I am très miserable. I am abstaining a bit from sport. Well, I hate to be that guy that you're always accusing me of being, but have you thought about getting AC? I'm just saying, because this is actually dangerous. You don't understand our buildings. Why? What are they made of? Stone. Brick. I don't understand brick buildings. They can't be refitted for aircon. Well, they absolutely can, but no one's even saying you have to get central air. You don't understand our windows. They open out, not up. Then get a floor model like mine. It comes with a kit. Mais non. That is not aesthetic. What sense would it make to pay for something 24/7 that I only use a few days a year? What does that even mean? Why would you have to pay for it 24/7? You can turn them off and on as needed, you know. Ugh, I do wish they at least had it at work. Where do you work? Zogen. How old is your hospital? This is brand new, state of the art. Without AC? Are you stupid? If we had aircon in the hospitals, all of the patients would die. Yeah, in English, you call it thermal shock. I assure you, in English, it is not called anything because that's not true. Are you a folk practitioner? It is very dangerous. to go from one extreme to another. So like using the sauna in winter. Don't you dare speak ill of sauna. Take sauna's name out of your mouth. This is climate change. Yes. And it will only get more miserable from here. Yes. To insulate ourselves from the result of the crisis we cause is immoral. You sound like women who refuse epidurals on biblical grounds. We are not superstitious. Well, what dosage of stitious is thermal shock?
Just a reminder, more Europeans die every year from heat-related illness than Americans do from gun violence. That's a real fact. You can look it up. So don't let any of these Europeans tell you that they can't install AC in their buildings, right? They've installed plumbing before, they've installed electricity, they can install air conditioning, but their ignorance doesn't let them. And so they have more people that die from heat than gun violence. Make it make sense.
Americans, I've got a question for you. No, seriously, I've got a question for all Americans. There has been a debate on the internet recently about British heat waves and American heat waves, right? And American heat waves are 10 times worse, but I received a comment, right? Look at this. They say it's because we have AC, but they don't realise that a lot of us set our AC to like 75, which is the same temperature as an English heat wave. Americans are setting their AC, right, to stay cool, and the temperature they are setting it at is the same temperature that Brits have for heat waves. And for some reason, British people are saying British heat waves are worse than American heat waves. And Americans are here experiencing British heat waves to cool down. I mean, if this is true, then I'm done. I am done.
The only thing that you need to understand about Europeans and why they are the way that they are and why they complain so much about being super hot and having terrible heat, but then they never install AC is this. For hundreds and hundreds of years now, hundreds of years, the people who were scrappy, innovative problem solvers in Europe, they left. They came to America because it made sense to. Now, maybe not if they were super rich, like land barons or something like that, but then those sorts of people typically aren't the most innovative people anyway. People who had the agency and the drive to solve their own problems did solve their own problems, and they came to the United States. The people left in Europe can't install air conditioning units because they're the descendants of the people who couldn't figure out how to buy a boat ticket across the Atlantic. This is not to say that many Europeans aren't lovely people. They are, and there's more to life than agency and problem solving. And every day, more are born who probably are naturally ambitious and will probably follow that ambition to end up in the United States eventually. But while they don't suffer from brain drain in the same way that like many countries in the global south do, they still suffer from a kind of ambition innovation drain that has become central to their culture, their way of life, and their regulatory environment. This is why you have a bunch of Europeans coming on here and being like, oh, like it's just part of our culture to complain. It literally is. Like, problems are to be complained about, not solved. And because this is TikTok, I should probably specify, this is not a genetic argument. People create culture, and culture creates more of those people. And culture and people create regulations, which is half of what the issue is with Europe. Even if someone is scrappy enough to try and install a window unit for AC, their government will probably ban them with some stupid license mandate. But no, I don't think that they're like genetically predestined to be losers or anything like that, but culture does perpetuate itself.
The worst part about this video is that she's actually serious. Can you believe that? She's like the audacity. Like the audacity. No, lady, that is absolutely false.
My pronouns are USA.
As you may know, Europe is now going through a heat wave. Temperatures are reaching way above 100 degrees. It is literally unbearable. Thousands of people have already died, especially the elderly. And the other day I called my grandmother, who lives in Czechia, my birth country, and I told her how is she putting up with it and what is she doing to make herself colder. And I suggested, why don't you get air conditioning? She goes, oh no, I would never do that. I would rather die of heat than install air conditioning in my home. And I go, well, that's a very irrational belief. And she's not the only one. Most people in Czech, especially the older generation, have a very negative stance towards air conditioning. And unnatural ventilation. And this traces back to humoral medicine or folk medicine from like the 18th, 17th centuries in Europe, where uncontrolled wind was said to contribute to hardship for the body, and it was hard for the body to regulate the temperature, and it would get the body out of equilibrium. And so the remedy was stay inside, don't get exposed to natural elements like wind, and you'll get better. And so this sort of inherited belief has carried on for centuries, despite science moving on and obviously proving this inherited belief wrong. It's still part of the culture, and you can't just remove it from the culture, right? It has been practiced for centuries, and so a lot of the older generation now in Central Eastern Europe is very much against air conditioning and will never have it, including just a standalone fan, and would rather die from heat. I have to say, with the changing temperatures, as you know, Europe is getting hotter, summers are getting hotter and more unbearable. It didn't used to be that way 50 years ago. The temperatures would never go above 100 degrees. But now, as it's getting hotter, younger generations are realizing that air conditioning is a necessity, and so they are integrating it in their homes, and it is becoming more of a thing.
In Netherlands and some other countries in Europe, I've noticed in the summer, when it's really hot, air conditioning is not guaranteed in places, which is why I just bought a movie ticket, because movie theaters are still always air conditioned. It's actually kind of like in the 50s in America, that's like why people went to the movie theaters, because it's the only place that was air conditioned. It's just a cultural difference, I guess. But then again, there aren't also too many places in Europe where it's like Los Angeles weather or Florida weather, where it is, hot all the time.
Hi everyone. My next culture shock here in the US has to do with air conditioning. And if you are from Europe, you probably know what I'm talking about. So the level of AC is extremely high here. What I mean by that, when you go somewhere here in the US, the AC is put to an extreme level. And if you're not used to it, you will not only freeze, but you will also get a headache. It gets pretty hot here, especially in states like California, New York, Florida. But the amount of AC that they have, like the severity of air conditioning, is too much if you're not used to it. In the summer, everywhere I go indoors, I have to have a jacket or a hoodie with me. Otherwise, I'll get sick. And I have a friend who's from Italy, and she told me about a time when she visited New York during the summer, and she actually, got a flu, got a cold, because of the level of AC. And when I say AC is everywhere, I mean everywhere. Even the bus has AC here, which is actually pretty cool, because you don't see that. I don't know how many countries have AC in their buses. It is a nice thing, but the extreme level of AC is too much. So yeah, if you're not used to it, be prepared when you visit the United States.
Every other country in the world with summers as hot as ours runs aircon and has thoroughly aircon.
No. You made such a generalization here. The poorest countries in the world, even India, the superpower, and most African countries have no access to domestic
what's
aircon.
interesting here is
so
the
you're
average-
saying every country in the world? That's such an outrageous generalization. The West, yes, because in the West we want never to be uncomfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Right?
But it's
we
more than
have to think of
uncomfortable,
the,
Yasmin.
we
People
have
are
to think
dying.
of the planet, and it won't kill us not to have
No, but it
aircon.
literally is killing some people.
Well, care homes, for example, where the most vulnerable are, okay, have facilities.
Nurseries, schools.
Nurseries and schools, you know, if you want to put, I don't have any
Hospitals?
Yeah, I think institutions are something else. We're talking about domestic use here.
Okay, but there's
This
also
is where
vulnerable people live in
I-
domestic facilities.
I know, but we don't all have to have aircon. I
Yasmin,
think
would you
they're
feel
the
the same
passive.
if it was about heating in the winter? Would you feel the same about that?
What do you mean?
So what we're saying is to save energy, we potentially restrict use of aircons
Well, look,
domestically. Should we
all the
restrict
new,
use of
all the
heating
new
systems?
forms of heating, and certainly the use of the new technologies, I totally approve of them.
And actually, heat pumps are a way
I can't do anything other than back whatever we're being told really works, because we've done nothing.
As far as I'm aware as well, heat pumps, which is the new source that the government wants us to install and everything, that can actually cool your home as well as heat it up. So there is actually an argument to say, Lara, that there are other ways and other methods we can use. Aircon might actually be a fairly old-fashioned way of cooling our home, so maybe we need to look to some of the more modern methods.
I mean, aircon units have developed quite a lot over the last few decades. They've become far more efficient. They use convection energy. They're completely electric, so there's no need to burn fossil fuels to run them. And I think that is being missed from this debate. I'm sure there's lots of ways of cooling a home. I'm sure a heat pump could work for some people. There are lots of situations in which heat pumps don't work, which I'm sure you've covered on the show lots of times. Flats, for example, very ineffective. Anywhere with copper wiring, there are problems with heat pumps. But I think we are vilifying air conditioning without any recourse to any science that says that people cooling their homes for a couple of weeks a year in order to stay healthy and comfortable and be able to sleep and not get unwell is bad for the planet. I don't think it's going to make the blindest bit of difference, and people deserve to feel comfortable.
It's starting to scare me. Can I be honest?
Yeah, I didn't know they don't have air conditioning in other places.
In England too. Like Brits are talking about air conditioning. And I'm like,
yes, bro. I
thought y'all were like the 1.0 of us.
Dude,
and we just evolved.
I thought it was just us, but great.
Yeah, I'm like, I think y'all had no seasonings. You've never seen Lowry's. If Slap Your Mama would cause cancer in England, Slap Your Mama would absolutely get rid of a third of the English people. They have never ever experienced seasoning like that.
If you put gumbo in England right now, there would be like polio. It would be like
100%.
It would take over.
God, the bubonic plague. It'd be insane. But it's kind of scaring me because I'm like, you said it perfect. The littlest of things. They think Walmart is the Taj Mahal.
Yes.
I watched the video. He said, "This is unbelievable." He's like, "I can get milk, bread, and a rifle all in one store." He goes, "Now I understand America."
Yeah.
And it's just like, and Walmart is something we're just like, I guess let's go to Walmart.
Dude, a lot of people don't want to go into Walmart.
Yeah.
Like, we do not want to go in there.
We don't want to go. It's like, it's a hassle. And they're like, this is stupid. They're pissing down. Oh, my bollocks.
Like, dude, they were like, so they were so enamored by air conditioning. This guy was like, I don't know if you know this, but right now it's pissing hot outside. I mean, I'm sweating. My nuts are just stuck to my leg. But I walk inside this building, chilly, hot. And he was walking in and out of the building. He goes, hot, chilly, hot, chilly.
Because you sit inside Winter Wonderland.